Alright, so we're gonna continue on and we're gonna make some tweaks for what we have over here. So looking at the reference over here, just want to make sure everyone kind of follows what we have. So here at frame 3, the hand is a bit too far out, so let's move it back a notch, and I'll try to move some of this just a bit to the back, and this one can go down just a bit. Right, so I'm gonna even out the numbers and I'm going to keyframe them at frame 3. Right, and for this guy, let's just make it 13.9 would be good. So let's go ahead and keyframe them at frame 3. Remember, press S to keyframe. Now here at frame 5, it's where he kind of does the transition. Right, so he's still the hand at the back over there. So again, I think we can kind of like adjust some of these settings a bit more. Let's push him in front a bit, and the elbow can go just a bit more forward. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and again even out these numbers and keyframe them. Right, so we have it at 5, and then let's see, at 7, let's just want to make sure that at 7 his hand is really fully extended out. I think it's kind of extended out, but let's make it even more so that we can really see the full extent. And this can go down. Let's push this out a bit. Alright, so that looks much better. And here at frame 7, we can start to keyframe them. And I'll just keep this as a 15. Right, so we're gonna keyframe them next at frame 7. Right, so for the most part it's looking okay. Now same thing as how we did for the left hand. 7 is gonna be the same as 11, so I'm just gonna copy this and paste it at 11 and just move it back. Right, then 5 is going to be the same as 13, so let's go and paste it here, and 3 is going to be same as 16. Right, so let's do that for the elbow as well. Five will be the same as 13. Right, and 3 is gonna be the same as 16. And for the wrist, oh, we did the wrist already, we haven't done the shoulder. Alright, so let's copy this guy and same thing again. And lastly, 3 will follow 16. Alright, so let's run that. So you get a running character. Of course, there are some tweaks to be made. There's some adjustments to the graph editor we need to do, but for the most part we got a run cycle. Alright, so welcome back. We're gonna start to work on our curves next. So the idea is we want our curves to be as smooth as possible. Now you can see over here there's some humps and dips in some of our frames over here. So if you just select any of our controllers over here, as you can see, some of these curves are not as smooth as we would like it to be. So let's try to go ahead and fix them. So let's work with our belly curves. That's the easiest one to fix. We just press F for that, and let's select our translate Y first. Right, what we want to do is we go to view and select our infinity to turn on. Now you gotta make sure that your infinity cycles are checked on as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and try to fix this for translate Y. Now the first things first is this first and last keyframe needs some adjustments over here. So I'm gonna select that, and let's go ahead and break the tangent, and we're gonna start to move some of this around just a bit, so just to make sure that it kind of follows a proper curve. So next I have to go to the first frame over here and do the same thing. So as I move this, guys, you can see over here the curve starts to move as well. The idea is again to make sure that it is as smooth as we can get it to be. Alright, so something like that will be okay. Now let me work on this next. Just wanna straighten some of these curves out. Alright, so for the most part that will be okay. Now let's go to our translate Z and going to frame that as well. Now let me just show our cycle again. Now same thing over here. I won't like something to go up and it goes down again. Let's try to make it as smooth as we can get it to be. So let's go ahead and break the tension for the first and last frame. Now we'll start to move this guy along. See how it works. Alright, so that is kind of straightened out. Now let me just straighten out some of these areas over here as well. Alright, so for most part those things are alright. Now let's go to our left foot and try to work on that next. So you have our translate Y over here. Now let me just get our cycles going. Right, so it looks like something out of ER over here, so we're gonna try to make this a bit more nicer. First frame as well, let's go and break the tangent and try to make it more smoother so it kind of follow a proper line. And from over here, I think I'll break this tangent as well. Let's try to fix as much of this as we can. Now the idea is we don't want to have sudden dips happening. We want to make sure that the transition is as smooth as we can get it to be. So I can look over here to see, like as you can see here, it suddenly jumps up that way. So we want to try to ease it a bit so it follows a proper curve. So same thing for this guy over here. There's a bit of bump over there. Right, so you want to make sure that curves is as smooth as we can get it to be. Right. So you have to, let's just move some of them down and up a bit, play around with the curves just to make sure we get that thing going as smoothly as we can. Now we don't want to change anything too drastically, but just want to make sure that especially the first and last frame, they kind of match up. Right, for the most part for this one, it's kind of okay. I just want to make sure that it goes a bit more proper. Now let me just play that and see how it works. Alright, that looks a bit more finer. Now let's continue on with the other. We had done translate Y, let's look at translate Z and see if we can fix this. So let me turn on my cycle, and same thing again, probably be a good idea just to make this a proper curve and just let it follow the line as we go along. Right, so I'm gonna check my cycles over here to kind of see if there's any humps, stuff like I can fix. Probably somewhere over here. Let's go ahead and break that tangent over there and try to move some of this around. First frame as well. And this guy over here, just want to make sure that it dips more gradually. Alright, something like that would be okay. So let's do the same for the other leg as well. Is there one more that we can do for this? Let's see, translate Y, Z. Yep, just those two. Now let's go ahead and do the same for this guy. Oh, now translate Y first.